Boom! What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson. Welcome back to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Got a cool episode for you guys today. Today I want to teach you guys when the sale is actually over. If you're like me, you know MLM is an amazing opportunity to grow a real asset for yourself. But you also see that there's huge issues starting to emerge. Like, why haven't big MLMs let tactics change in over 30 years? Or why have they been cutting commissions smaller and smaller? Or even, how dumb is it that old MLM rules say you'll get in trouble when you use the internet to grow your team? These are some of the blaring questions we all face today. This podcast will show you how real MLMers like us are waging war on the old dying methods. And we aren't cheating by only bugging uninterested family and friends. Follow this podcast while I expose the shocking methods I'm using to build my 10,000 person downline and get people begging to join my team daily. Here's to the new tactics without all those old, rusty MLM shackles. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Hey guys, I'm excited for today's episode. Last episode I did was standing here as well. I just had two big thoughts on my mind. I wanted to do another one here. Hey, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, by the time this episode goes out, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went and I had an event called OfferMind. And I sold 650 tickets, and we had people come in, and we did about 1.9 million on stage, and which is awesome, super cool. There's varying scenarios of people, and sometimes people will drop off or go forward or whatever, or they'll bring on tons more with them or whatever. But it was a screaming success, and it was a lot of fun, and we'll continue to sell that program, which is exciting. But one of the big principles that I got, I started teaching is, it's interesting because the one skill set you guys can go learn that will massively improve your wallet is marketing. Always marketing. And the better marketer you are, the less amazing at sales you usually have to be. So I was standing there and I was teaching, and when I do my events, I like to teach a lot. We went from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and we took a lunch and a dinner break. But we went from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I had 2 other guest speakers, and it was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed doing it. Well, one of the principles that I like to talk about the most is this whole concept of the sales psychology. I think one of the things that made the event so unique is I don't really want to teach people the newest thing on Facebook. That leaves. Guess what? In 20 years from now, there will probably be a different Facebook. You know what I mean? The new platform will be around here. I don't really want to go teach the latest email deliverability hack. I don't really care about that stuff. What I care about is what is true marketing. And so what I spent a lot of the time at the event doing, and we're probably going to have an MLM event soon called Hack MLM Live. Hint, hint. HackMLMLive.com is not quite set up as the time of me setting up this podcast episode here, but it's kind of something we're rummaging around where it's just MLM specific. Like, that would be so cool. Show you guys like modern marketing tactics for MLM and network marketing. That'd be so fun. Anyway, I digress. But one of the reasons why people like the event so much is that I have an obsession with marketing history. I actually wanted to be a 10th grade history teacher. That's what I was going to go be for a long time. That's what I told people I was going to go be, a 10th grade history teacher. I loved studying American history and world history. Oh, so fun. I really, really enjoyed it. But what it's kind of turned into, I'm 31 now. What it's turned into is I kind of have an obsession with marketing history. And so what I did at the event is I said to everybody, is like, the purpose of this event is for me I want to remove the internet. I want to remove today's modern distribution channels. Let's take those away. Steven, what does that have to do with MLM? Just hold on tight and I'll show you. Let's remove those things. Okay? And what I want to go do is I want to take away all those things, and let's go 200 years ago to the time when the printing press was starting to come around, right? I think it was like 1750. The printing press came around, and suddenly we could have duplicatable messages that they were sending out to people. That's a big deal, right? Before that, you had to one-on-one tell everybody, right? That's a huge deal to have the printing press come around. So anyway, what I told everybody is, let's go remove everything with the internet. learn what marketers in that time used to go do, study their patterns, and then add the internet. That is powerful. Otherwise, the internet can be a distraction. And we think that posting on social media is marketing. It is not. It's posting on social media, okay? So what the purpose of the event was to go in and teach what marketing actually is in the context of old school times, and then add in powerful internet principles, which is what we did. And it was very, very successful. It was awesome. And one of the things inside of it that people like the most is studying this whole buyer psychology. And I want to teach this to you guys real fast here, okay? And I know I've talked about this a little bit in the past, but there's a certain key point of this. I just want you guys, have you ever had anybody, refund on you? Don't lie, right? Somebody goes, they buy the product, you spent all this time going and you do the home meeting or phone or hotel meeting, or you three-way them, or you spend time with that individual, and you can kind of tell they're not like, woo, you know what I mean? They're not like all about it. They're not like going crazy, just loving every single minute that you're talking to them. You know what I mean? And then vice versa, there's other people where you show them the product and they're like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I love the product. And you're like, yeah, buy 10 of them, you know? So imagine you're talking to somebody and they're not like loving it, okay? And you go and you walk away and you got the sale, but you're like, it's kind of shaky. And you're walking away, and let's say you got them on Smart Ship or Auto Ship or whatever, and you go and you walk away from them, and that dredged text comes to you because they're not confident enough to actually call you, and they say, Steven, no, hey, look, we were talking about this, and I know I'm within my 3-day refund period, so we just really want the money back, and you're like, no, oh my gosh, right? And you have that dread. We've all had that experience. Don't act like you haven't, right? If you haven't, you need to sell harder, okay? So anyway, refunds are normal, just so you all know. There's actually people there's actually very famous marketers who, if they don't have a 10% refund rate, they don't believe they're marketing hard enough, okay? Refunds are normal. That's okay. That's very okay. So anyway, let's say you have that experience. Why does that happen? Okay, there's a principle that I want to walk you guys through real fast here on why that actually happens. There are 4 chemicals in the brain that cause us to feel good. 4 hormones, okay? They're natural. They're produced by the brain already. I'm saying that because sometimes I teach this and people feel bad. Like, I don't want to give them that drug. It's like, they're already making that drug in their head, all right? So I got like some weird piece of, anyway. Hey, so the first chemical is dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical of distraction. We love to get distracted. It is statistically proven that you check your phone 72 times a day now. Why? Dopamine. You're addicted, okay? As a society, we all are. Mark Zuckerberg said on film to Congress, yes, we brought in addiction specialists to make Facebook as addicting as possible. I'm not here to argue whether or not that's right or wrong. It's just, that's the statement. They engineered addiction into it. Dopamine is the easiest chemical for our brains to get of the 4 hormones. Okay, the next one is oxytocin. Oxytocin is the chemical of connection. And of the 4, it's the one that we want the most. I need connection. I need to connect with people. Seth Godin teaches that right now there's never been a time in history where we have detribed so much. We are detribing as a society. But funny enough, it's the chemical we seek the most. We're not relying on each other like we used to, but we desperately need to feel connection, which is the chemical of oxytocin. Okay, we will give up our religion, we will give up our relationships, we will give up our beliefs, we'll give up our morals in order to get connection, even if it's fake connection. We need connection as a species, okay? Next one is serotonin. Serotonin is the chemical of status, right? Now, I don't mean like you versus me, all right? Like I'm better than you. That's not what it is. Status meaning validation, meaning I'm okay in my eyes and I'm okay in those people's eyes over there too, right? It's kind of like that. There is a sense of that as far as like me, you, right? It's one of the driving forces we go as entrepreneurs, right? Anyway, so it's of status, okay? This is not meant to be a dissertation on it. I love this stuff, man. Like I really go into this. So anyway, E is the chemical of endorphins, and endorphins is the chemical of work reward. Meaning, I'm on a track right now next to my house is way over there, but I thought I'd stop by this kind of park and do this episode. So anyway, let's say I'm gonna go jog around this track. It looks like a 1/4 mile track. The first 3 or 4 laps are gonna kind of suck. They always do. But what happens once you get past like that first mile? You get the runner's high. That's work reward. That's endorphins. It's not dopamine, it's not oxytocin, not serotonin, it's endorphins. Endorphins comes as a response of work reward. It comes in the response of pain, okay, meaning pain of growth. And so I might feel some growth pains as I'm sprinting around the track, but as I start to feel the little bit of, I'll start to feel some endorphins, and I'll start to get the feel goods, and it makes me keep going, okay? There are different ways to cause these chemicals inside of the buying process. And that's something I've discovered and learned how to do quite well. You consuming this right here, I'm giving you dopamine because I've distracted you from something else today. Status in terms of definitely the podcast episode where it's very much us versus them, new MLM versus old MLM. Connection, I try to be as vulnerable as possible with this show. That actually gives a semblance of oxytocin and endorphins. Endorphins is gonna be very hard for me to give you while you watch this or listen to this or read this right now because you're not doing much. If I was to have you go do 2 or 3 things and check a box, it would start to give the chemical of endorphins and the feel goods, okay? Now, hopefully no one feels weird as I say that to you, but I wanna tell you guys why the refund happens, okay? You're going through this, somebody's buying, you're pitching them, right? Let's say you're pitching somebody and they're buying from you and they're getting dopamine. They're getting distracted. They're getting oxytocin. One of the easiest ways to get oxytocin is through purchases. Okay, like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling the feel goods. I'm getting, you get that buyer's high? That's where it's coming from, oxytocin and dopamine, right? And let's say there's a brand involved. You have an amazing brand. They know it's an amazing brand. There's a sense of status that comes with it, serotonin, right? There's a little bit of work reward. The work they did is they pulled their credit card out and they're feeling endorphins. Man, they're on a high. You're getting almost all 4, if not all of them, during the purchasing process. So why do they refund? What's happening in the brain? What happens in the brain is the purchase is not over. Buying is emotional. And so as I start to purchase, the left side of my brain dies down, right? I shouldn't say die down. What really happens is the right side of the head is really where a lot of those emotions happen, and it overrides the left or logical side of my head. It overrides it. And so I stop thinking less logically. And when I start saying, hey, buy now, it's buy one, get one free right now, guess what happens? What happens in the brain is they start to justify the purchase. You know what? It makes sense for me to buy this right now because it's buy one, get one free. They think it's logical. It's actually emotional though. Okay? So what happens is as they walk away and those hormones start to burn off, the left brain starts to pop back in and go, oh crap. Oh my gosh, why did I just buy this? Right? They start to freak out a little bit. They're like, oh my gosh, I wasn't planning on buying this thing today. Right? And the left brain has to start justifying the action. Okay? Now, I know I'm spitting a lot of stuff here on this and I'm saying a lot of things here, but understand that this is where the key is. If you guys want to drop your refunds, this is how you do it. One of the reasons why somebody refunds is because you have not armed the logical side of the brain during the sale. Did you hear what I just said? That's a big statement right there. You might want to rewind this or go back up and read the paragraph again or something like that. One of the reasons why, it's one of the biggest reasons why you get refunds is because you did not arm the left side of the brain during the sale. Meaning, you didn't actually give logical closes, okay? When you walk out of the sale, let's say that you go into a grocery store and you're like, all I'm gonna get is eggs. How many times do you actually walk out with just eggs? Like never, right? Why? Because you like to buy, everyone likes to buy, right? You know what, I should get some bread while I'm here. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get some orange juice while I'm here. Since I'm here, and what are you doing? Logically justifying, okay? So what happens is, as you are leaving the sale and as you walk away and you swipe the credit card and I'm having these 4 chemicals buzz in my head, what happens is the first loved one who walks up to me and says, I thought you were just getting eggs. What do I say? What do I say? What I say is the closes. Okay, this is big. Guys, your customers, and I'm going way more tactical, far less story than I should on this podcast episode, but I'm hoping you guys catch this. Okay, what happens is as the customer walks away and confronts their first loved one, they cite logical closes. Okay, a logical close is nothing more than a reason to act now. Meaning, what are they going to cite? It was buy one, get one free. It was half off. If I did it now, I got in my buddy for half off. It was, you know what I'm saying? They start citing the logical reasons to act now, not the stories that you told them. If you know what I'm talking about, go watch the last podcast, maybe before seeing this one, and it'll make more sense what I'm saying right here. People they don't cite the stories, they cite the logical reasons to act now to save face in front of loved ones who ask why they bought something. I feel like I should pause for effect there. People cite logical reasons to act now to save face in front of the loved ones as to why they just bought something. Okay, and so what you can do inside of the sale, what does that mean? So let me go recap this real fast here in a nice little bow, because I know that was a lot of stuff here. Okay, and maybe watch this a few times too, because this is I know that's thick. And this is a pretty deep topic to hit in just a quick 15-minute episode here. Okay, but just think about this, okay? What it means is that when you're selling somebody, you want to give them as many logical reasons that they should be doing this. You want to be telling them things like, it makes sense, you're smart to get this done now because it's half off. It makes sense why you take action to this now. I totally would too, because it is buy one, get one free before midnight. I wish that I had this opportunity like you have now, because I didn't have this when I started. I didn't have this part and this part back when I started this. You get that now. That's super cool that you get it. What did I just do? I actually just armed them with something that they can quote to loved ones when they see them to try to save face later on. The way the brain handles the sale, once those emotions and those hormones die off on the right side of the head, the left side is left to fend for itself. And unless you arm it, they start getting buyer's remorse. Anyway, hopefully that episode made sense. It's a thick one, I know it is. Okay, there's a lot to it. But I just wanted to cite that to you because that was one of the pieces people really liked at OfferMind 2 or 3 weeks ago. They love that part because it's what you can do. I really don't have that many refunds. Secret MLM hacks, there's really not many refunds. All the products I sell, I really have an extremely low refund rate. And why? It's because I understand that part of my role when selling them is not to sell them on the decision to buy only. What I'm selling them on is I'm actually arming them post-sale on how to save face in front of their loved ones. That's my role, not theirs. The sale is not over until they can justify the purchase to loved ones. Otherwise, what happens is people step back and they say, well, crap, I think I got swindled. And they can't cite any of the logical reasons to act now. They can't remember all the aspects of the story. And they might suck at telling story. So they can't tell the story the way you told your story. And because of that, they start getting buyer's remorse. And they go, crap, I think I got swindled. Dang it, I don't think that this might have actually, oh crap, right? And they freak out. Okay, so the easiest way, that's the whole point of this episode. The whole point of the episode is that one sentence right there. Easiest way, the purchase is not over until you have armed them to save face and status in front of the loved ones once they challenge the purchase. That's it. And the way you do that is by arming them with lots of logical reasons to act now. So when people are like, I don't know that I like closing, you're killing your refund rate then. You're in the bad way, right? I don't know that I don't like closing. I don't like closing hard. You're not closing hard. You're giving them reasons that they're gonna be able to save face. You're giving quotables that they're gonna go say back to their loved ones once you should close them hard. It is buy one, get one free. It is half off now. There is a promo going now. Tell them all of the things. Oh, they're already purchasing, Steven. I don't think I need to say more. Keep saying them. Go through what I would do. I've done this. In fact, most of my sales, I know one of the reasons why I did 1.9 million a few weeks ago at my own event is because I stacked closes. I mean, I've never had a table rush. That was the first table rush I've ever had in my entire life. I hadn't even said the freaking price and people were standing up and slamming their credit cards down. But I didn't stop. I kept speaking. Half the room was on their feet. It was over 600 people. You know how loud the room was? I kept going like no one was standing. I kept going the whole time. I talked for another probably 15 minutes with everybody up, just doing my closes. Steven, what does this mean when I get here and here? Well, don't worry about it because we got X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. Make sure you stand up, walk to the table, grab the form, fill it out, walk to the back, and hand them the pink sheet where we'll give you this box and what we call the golden ticket. And then I go to the next one. Well, Steven, what happens if I want to pay off this program early? Don't worry about it. We are totally willing to do that with you. You can definitely pay the program off. Why would we punish you for paying this off early? Hopefully it's off the profits that you're making from the program. All you need to do is stand up right now, walk up to the front of the room, grab the form, fill it out, walk to the back, hand in the pink sheet, and you'll get the box and the golden ticket. Right? And then we go to the next one. Steven, well, I'm trying to think of the next one. Steven, what if I already have a sales funnel? I completely get that. And there's a lot of people that already do. And I had Dave Woodward, who is one of the executives at ClickFunnels. He's a funnel freak. He already has funnels and he paid for this program before he even knew what was in it. Here's the check. Here's a picture of the check. He was the first one in the program. He's super excited about it. Is he a funnel freak? Are you? He's in the program. I want you to be as well. So stand up, come up to the front, grab the form, fill out the form, walk to the back, hand in the pink sheet, and get the box and the golden ticket. You see what I'm saying? Now, what do people cite after they go back home and the emotions have died, but they know that they should be in the program, but now they have to, and they're not a great salesman, but now they have to sell their loved ones on the decision they made? Scary waters. Scary waters if you did not close, and drop a lot of them, okay? One of the easiest ways to save face for them, okay? It helps them know that you are on their side. If you haven't armed them with that, a lot of times they feel like you took them and you didn't. But it just feels that way to them. Anyway, that was a massive rant. I'm gonna go back home now. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Secret MLM Hacks Radio here. I love doing this show. If you could please leave me a review, that'd be awesome. And this stuff works. I love MLM. I love what I do. I love sales. I love marketing. I love funnels. Guys, the opportunity we have right now is ridiculous. There's never been a time where distribution's been so easy, where products are made so quickly, where society discipline is dropping so much, which means if you just do anything, it's likely you'll succeed. It's a really special time that we live in. Hopefully you guys enjoy the show, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Hey, I know it's tough to find people to pitch after your warm market dries up, right? That moment when you finally run out of family and friends to pitch. I don't see many uplines teaching legitimate lead strategies today, though. You see, after years of being a lead funnel builder online, I got sick of the garbage strategies most MLMs have been teaching their recruits for decades. So whether you simply want more leads to pitch or an automated MLM funnel, head over to secretmlmhacks.com to join the next free training. There you're going to learn the hidden revenue model that only the top MLMers have been using to get paid regardless if you join them. You're also going to learn the 3-step system I use to auto-recruit my downline of big producers without friends or family even knowing that I'm in MLM. If you want to do the same for yourself, head over to secretmlmhacks.com now. Again, that's secretmlmhacks.com.